Да, да, сейчас.
Oh yeah, just a moment. Oh God! Jesus. There it is. A continuation of what we saw outside. Oh, Lord. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Olia and her owl in the morning. Yeah, we have the same issue ourselves. Although our situation escalated a little bit more than just staring. Actually, it skipped the staring. It was far away and skipped the staring and leaped straight at us. Actually, it was staring a little bit in the doorway. I just didn't pick up on it. It feels like Five Nights at Freddy's adventure, doesn't it? Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. And so hectic even. Maybe someone is in need of help, as if something happened in the forest. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet. Under the table. And also, the mind is a curious thing, isn't it? If you don't know, or you can't hear something like a conversation, or you're not sure what you're seeing, the mind is very eager to immediately fill the blanks. As I'm sure will happen right now with this curious George over here, and his curious imagination, very lively imagination. Or how about behind the curtains, where Olia always hides? I thought the owl hid behind the curtains.
Tosha, подойди-ка сюда.
Hey Tosha, come here. Huh. I felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. Why would they... Is this about me? Huh. That looks like police. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smell like frost and worry. Did something happen to Dad? Why would he call me over that quickly? The mother would inform me if something happened to Dad, not like in front of the policeman. They're asking something. They want to ask us something. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused.
Здравствуйте.
Hello. The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
Тут мальчик вчера потерялся. Вовой зовут.
Oh, a boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. But we didn't have any friends here, did we? I suppose Mother doesn't know that. Maybe Mother doesn't pay much attention to our lives. She seems very distracted.
Глянь, пожалуйста. Ты его не видел?
Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The policeman held out a photograph to me. Aww. Is that a Siberian cat? Oh, they're adorable. I personally know 4 of them. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. Of course he would. Look at the cat. Fuzzy, warm, purring. Now I want to pet the cat. Ah.
Нет.
Нет, I have not.
Точно? Посмотри внимательнее.
Are you sure? Be sure to look closely.
Где мне его видеть? Я тут никого не знаю, да и из дома-то почти не выхожу.
Well, where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. And we just moved here, didn't we?
А может, видел в окно?
Well, maybe you've seen him from the window. Oh, I don't want to say what I've seen from the window, but it's not him.
Да, у тебя ведь окна на лес.
That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? Why would I stand at the window and look straight out in the middle of the night? And if it's not night, why would I be in my room? Facing the window. I don't know. I'm just trying to mind bloom here. The window.
Нет, не видел.
Нет, I haven't seen anything. And he thought the same as me, just... I did see something out the window, but I did not see him, so maybe I shouldn't mention it.
Ясно.
I see. He sounded tired, and I suppose... Yeah, like, he finally found a kid who is a resident in this area. It's like, I should ask the few kids I come across, because, you know, kids, they play with kids. Who knows? It's like, he's desperate. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. Well, maybe he noticed the doubt in my voice, that I saw something. So he thinks I'm guilty. It's just that I'm guilty of something else. I'm guilty of lying about... No, I'm not lying. I didn't mention anything about it. I'm rambling. But I'm not saying what I saw. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt. Speaking of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. Also, we did not kidnap him. You don't have to suspect us. Look at this huge trail in the stairs. Oh, huge. The steps are huge. It's probably just a perspective, but wow, those are huge. And this house is sacred. No demons shall enter. That's probably what our grandma put up. She seems superstitious and knows something, and I will keep saying that. Well, yeah.
Вы, кстати, как на новом месте? Попривыкли уже?
How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? How are you so... He seems so sure that I've seen a boy. He seems so sure. And now it's like... Oh, how do you like your new place? Also, was there any new glossary? No, not yet. Not yet. I didn't think so. I think the Tosha thing got to me for some reason. Because it said something like this earlier, but that's one of the names or nicknames.
Понемногу. Только вот дочка маленькая по городу скучает.
Oh, they asked mom, not me. Well, bit by bit, it's just our little daughter misses the city a lot. Well, so do I, but I guess I'm better at hiding the fear.
Скучает, значит. Из местных вас никто не беспокоит?
Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? I guess misses the city is just a very, very nice way of saying that she has trouble sleeping here and really wishes that we didn't move her in the first place. It's a very nice way of putting it.
Все хорошо, спасибо.
Yes, everything is sound right. Thank you. Spasiba. The policeman pierced through me once more time with his brown eyes. My head started spinning. It's almost as if the policeman knows something as well. Maybe he knew that our grandmother was up to something. Was scheming something. Not scheming something, but knew something.
Может,
She
вам
must have known
помочь
something.
как-то?
I notice you staring at me. Can I help you somehow? Now, I asked that in a shaky voice, which probably seems even more suspicious to the policeman, to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner.
Я вот стою и думаю,
Now that I think about it,
ты, малец, на племеша моего похож.
you look just like one of my nephews, little fella.
Шустрый парнишка твоих лет. С
You say-
такими же окулярами. Все книжками зачитывался, детективами.
He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same types of goggles. Oh, there you go, see? More boys around here wear goggles. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. See, it seems like we're about to get a friend already.
Когда летом погостить приезжал, говорит, что в школу милиции мечтает поступить.
He told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Well, I guess he'll have to be a good example then.
Как я. Хотел людям помогать. Смекаешь?
wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I can't help but feel that this is sort of a jab at me, like he has something against me, the main character. I'm gonna refer to the main character as me for now. It's just like he knows that I'm sort of hiding something. But you know, we're gonna stay on topic here. I have not seen the boy. I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative, and not a police officer, stood before me. Well, you know, maybe the police officer knew our grandmother, because our grandmother lived here, and I suppose it's like a regional place where almost everyone knows almost everyone, just that we are new here. Well, he still probably gives that familiar sort of aura because he knows the place, he knows the house. He knew our grandmother, maybe. To a larger or lesser extent.
Ох, ребятушки,
You know what.
сидите-ка вы лучше дома. Не ввязывайтесь ни во что. Жизнь сейчас совсем другая пошла.
Little boys like you should stay at home. Stay away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
Мне ли не знать?
Oh, you don't say.
Ну да ладно.
Well then.
Ты, Антон, в каком классе учишься?
What grade are you in, Anton?
В 6.
6th.
Друзей-то на новом месте еще не завел?
Have you made any friends here so far? Okay, I'm a little bit confused because I'm not sure if we haven't gone to school at all or if it's like a break, like a winter break or so. That we have gone one semester, because it wasn't quite clear on that earlier, or I didn't pick up on it. But my impression is that we just got there. So yeah.
Пока нет. Я только после каникул в школу пойду.
Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. For the first time. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Пока нет.
Тогда вот вам на всякий случай мой номер. Звоните, если узнаете что.
Then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. About the missing boy, right? Because he feels increasingly ambiguous. He asked about the boy in the start, and now it's like he just felt vague. Maybe it's just me. But there's something about him. They will not make a note about the second policeman. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne, and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wondered what it was like for him being all alone. There. Like there? What do you mean there? In the forest? I mean, because he's missing, it doesn't mean that he's out in the forest. See, maybe we do know something. Maybe we feel it has something to do with the vision. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. Always comes back to the forest. Oh, we have a little peephole as well. And there's the extra lock that father installed. We also installed something like this at one point in my childhood. Like an extra lock. But we didn't live in the middle of nowhere. Relatively speaking. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Which begs the question, like, what exactly happened there? Like, we got pounced by what appeared to be somewhat like a werewolf or something. And then we fast forward to the morning. As if we knew it was our imagination. Because there's a big, like, we're missing some continuity. But it's probably just a dream or something like that. Well, like drifting in and out of sleep consciousness. And what about our sister? Where is our sister? We said we would follow her to watch a movie. And I don't think we even did that, or we blacked out, and we don't even see our sister here right now. Where is our sister? I have so many questions right now. Would our parents cry and thrash around hysterically? Oh, well, they would probably argue back and forth and maybe accelerate the rate of divorce. Would they accuse each other like they always do and forget about me eventually? I don't think they would forget about you, no. But they would probably do the rest.
Мам, а Вова этот в нашем лесу заблудился?
Hey, Mom, this is Vova. Did he go missing in our forest?
Выходит, что так. Бедный ребенок.
It seems like it. The poor child. I looked out the window at the road. Well, that's the road that Father drives every day, I suppose. And we have a fence as well. And I suppose the animals were dancing maybe a bit more to the right. I don't know where the this is ground floor. I don't know. I just, the thing about horror games and stories like this is that if you don't know for sure, then your mind fills the blanks. I felt like we were sleeping on the okay, some say first floor, some say second floor. I'm gonna say the floor above the ground floor to avoid any confusion. That's where I thought we were sleeping, or maybe even in the attic. So that's what the blanks that my mind filled in. So maybe we saw them to the right here, so I don't know which way that window was facing. But I digress again. It feels very peaceful now with the music and all. It almost feels like music playing in the memory of the missing boy, in a way. I hope he's alright. Maybe we'll find out. This blinks now. The police UAZ drove off towards the village. I think that's the shortening for the police that you see on their vests and so in Russia, isn't it? Oh, never mind. Because I know they have like 3 letters. The police in Russia. UAZ is a Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand, which was produced on the Ulyanovsk car factory. All right, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna be right back for just a couple of minutes. I'm gonna pause here real quick. And we are back. All right. Oh, there we go. Third time's a charm. Drove off toward the village. Which is interesting because he did say that the child went missing in the village or something like that, didn't they? And we are not part of the village? Indeed, isolation. The village in itself is probably very isolated, and we are not even part of that. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I read this summer. Black Kitty, I wonder if that's like a real series, or if that's made up for here. I haven't heard of it before. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam! Solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest. So they investigated in the near of our house as well as in the entrance of the forest. It's as if they suspected us. And then it clicked in my head. Uh-oh. Well, they suspected us, and our boys suspect the creatures. Why don't I... Oh, okay. Never mind. Why don't I start an investigation on my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy. Well, don't forget what everyone said. you should probably not go out yourself. I mean, one lost boy can quickly become two lost boys. And I'll get a reward. Olia will be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Oh no. Don't feel like you can fix their problems, because they have problems on their own. They have to fix that themselves. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. It's not worth it. Come on. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. Oh. That's not something that you should even think about. Oh. The poor children. It almost looked like the door was open for a second. The door is that dark. It's the source of evil. In the night, at least. I fantasized about buying Olia a Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi, that's like... when I was growing up, we called that Datadiere, which translates to computer animal. So those tiny little computery things. So you have like a little pet, digital pet. Ah, that's nostalgic. And getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. Good times. And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. Oh. Yeah, those... it sounds a lot bigger, but a box, I suppose you mean with the 3 eggs. 3 Kinder Surprise eggs. Ah, those were the days. And with the toys inside them. And filling out those cores where the toys were inside with baking powder and making them blow up. Nostalgic. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Well, that's why you have Kinder Surprise. You build your toys. Last autumn, I think, my dad had lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. Okay, this blew up from song, was it? Oh, never mind. Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian original or translated teen mystery books. So it is a real thing, but probably not much outside of the Russian-osphere. Accountant, a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Combination, that became wildly popular in the early 90s. It's nice to get a little bit of a insight into the Soviet world here. There's so much to learn. I like tiny little tidbits like this. I hadn't... What happened with my wonderful ambience? Oh, there it is. There it is. I was hoping night hadn't settled just yet, because then you probably wouldn't want to be down here, by the epicenter of where everything happens. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. I suppose that's one of their jobs. Neighbors used to envy us. And now we don't really have any neighbors. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. So, my question is, are we past the Soviet times at all? Was this shortly after Soviet, like our grandmother lived through Soviet, or is this still Soviet? They did talk about Disney VHS cassettes, which still were very much in the 80s, 90s, maybe early 2000s. I think this is around the time I grew up. I would probably be their age. Right. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out, looking for clues.
Пойду погуляю.
Oh, don't yell. Also, I think maybe they're a little bit older than me, if this currently takes place in the 80s, maybe 90s.
Ага, сейчас.
Yeah, right. As if. Is that what that pose is telling me? She is pissed.
Чтобы потом милиционеры с твоей фотографией по домам ходили.
Do you want the police to go around with your photograph next?
Лес вон какой густой.
The forest is so thick. So mysterious, even. And even if this is a very innocent place. Think about our imagination. Our imagination feels deadly inside. Imagine how it would strike us out there.
А если мальчика звери дикие утащили? Или того хуже?
What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals? Or something even worse? Even worse echoed through the hallway.
Да я рядом буду. В лес не пойду.
I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Anton is scared and very imaginative, but he's also brave at the same time, isn't he? He's sort of like the sister. Like, talks about seeing owls joyfully during the day, while being scared during the night.
Что я тебе сказала? Мне дважды повторять.
Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself once more?
Лучше портфель собери или соли поиграй.
Better go pack your school bag or play with Olia. I suppose that's our two options now. Where is Olia? The sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. I suppose the sink is the mic drop. Oh, we can... A third option. Open. To kitchen, to front yard. I suppose Oda is not in here. I suppose Olia is directly outside the house maybe, or in the kitchen, but we didn't see her in the kitchen earlier. No, this is just a little storage compartment under the stairs. I thought it maybe was like a basement at first. Maybe there is a basement. I also read, one of the few lines that I've read about this game is that choices very much do matter. They very much do. Let's go check out this. Let's check out what's under the stairs. That's my horror senses tingling. Oh, the dark, stuffy closet with an axe. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? Well, maybe she at one point lived in the place where there were a lot of mice and were able to pick up on it. Like if you have mice in the walls and the ceiling, you're gonna have quite the feces problem all over the place, and I suppose that smells a little bit like mice. Or one mouse smell. Also, I digress. She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself with a freshly sharpened axe. See, she does care for you. She's just a little bit strict. I suppose she has to be with your imagination. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is staying there. Let's see, what was Babai again? It was a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. So not just father used to Babai. Or maybe maybe both of them threatened with that. They should never have started with Babai. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs. A little bit of light can cure the imagination. Dad's tools are... cobwebs, Dad's tools and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me, because once the light is off, it's... maybe your vision lies. I like to hide in the closet and listen to Olia count outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Mom probably heard that. Or maybe not because of the rushing water. Okay, so maybe we are at a section where we can explore some things before we inevitably, pardon my English, inevitably go outside. Let's go to the kitchen. Lie to Mom. Turn back immediately. I'm hungry, Mom. Okean. Moloko. What do we have here? It looks like... What's that? Like pickled cucumbers or... I don't know. Butter. Looks like half an orange. No, butter is here. What? Maybe something similar. It looks like a tiny fox symbol on this ring. That looks like paracetamol, like painkillers. Eggs are listed up here. And that looks like eye drops. Because you're supposed to keep them cold after you open them, didn't you? And I suppose cough medicine or so. What's in the freezer? Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olia there, but now I could only see meat bits for soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Got a little mini jump scare you get when you gloss out the glossary. Pelmeni is a Russian variety of dumplings, made by boiling thin unleavened dough filled with minced meat. One may even call it Russian fast food. It does sound good, actually. It does sound good. Okay, close this up. Lie to Mom. And say that we're not going into the forest? It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no other way for me to run away from home. It almost sounds like a retrospect that we did leave the house.
Мам, там что-то с телевизором случилось.
Mom, something's wrong with the TV. Okay, maybe if we just left outright, she would have stopped us. I was thinking it, but I didn't think it out loud.
Картинка какая-то тусклая, и экран весь в полосах.
The picture is dim and there are stripes all over the screen, and Mom's probably thinking, oh no, not another expense. Mom's face became visibly distorted.
Без ножа меня режешь. Дострелялся в уток своих.
Ah, you're killing me here. So, have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Oh, is that like, do they have the classical Nintendo, the first Nintendo, with the Duck Hunt Super Mario Duo game cartridge? Duck Hunt.
Говорила же, посадите мне кинескоп своей приставкой.
I told you the kinescope will go dim because of your console.
Где мы теперь мастера найдем в дыре этой, а?
Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Well, forget about that. What about the money? It probably costs a fortune at that point in time. Or maybe not. Maybe it was, well, repairing was much cheaper back then. But still, it's money.
Может быть, просто настройки сбились?
Maybe it's just the settings. I mean, you could skim through it while I have a peek outside. That should give me enough time to run away.
Сходи, посмотри, пожалуйста.
Please, go see for yourself.
Нормально же работал с утра.
Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Something tells me we don't lie a lot, especially not to Mom, because she's really buying into this. And I'm not sure if she's going to be very happy to find out if we lie. Or we just say, hey, it works again.
Из-за снегопада, наверное, неполадки.
Maybe the snowfall caused it. That's for reception. It shouldn't affect your local connection like this, directly from the console to the TV. Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. I suppose that's where the console is. And the VCR, no. Right, turn back. Unless there's something else. It's the 7th. A certain date. There's no time for this. Mom will come back soon. Okay. Okay, I shall not look around. Okay, front yard. Hang on, that was right click. My finger rested a bit too much at the right click. I opened the front gate and went into the field. And see, it has 2 floors. Well, of course it has 2 floors. I just saw it had stairs. And I suppose always corvuses fleeing from the forest, and there's more of them now, not just a pair every now and then. So they are crows indeed. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance towards the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. Yeah, we shouldn't venture too far. I remembered my nightly fares. Speaking of nightly fares, night is approaching, isn't it? Oh god! I saw those silhouettes around here, and how does it feel to stand where you saw them? Gives you an extra shiver or two, doesn't it? They were jumping around, holding hands, having fun, dancing. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. Seriously, like now, you mean? Like right now? In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent. Apart from the wind, but I suppose the wind can also be silencing in a way. Crows are loud though. So silent, I felt like the world was totally empty. It's as if we're drifting into a different world. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. Where is Olia? Did she disappear as well? The time reached its limit, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Well, anticipation. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone listening to them. In a way, if you hear screaming, you sort of can pinpoint something, you know what's going on. If you hear nothing, you're just left wondering what is going on. Is there someone there? Is there not someone there? And once again, your imagination fills the blanks. Someone's watching, perhaps. But then, always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it. There's something about his smile that sort of made me blank. Like it's probably just a happy smile, but there was just something about the smile that made me think about the silhouettes of the school children earlier. Just planted a seed in my mind. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it was in a previous life. It almost looked like Mom was a little bit unsure or a little bit upset, maybe. But hey, they look happy still. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. Okay. Well, she looked happy there. One day, it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke out, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground in everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. Oh, it's ... Okay, I was waiting for something as you zoomed in on the police lights. I was like, I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. What's this say? Sports. It says sports. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Oh, look at all the snow on the roof here. And the tree is so... oh, the tree is so dead. Imagine seeing this in the night. Maybe this is what we saw. Dancing around like lights. This can cast some gruesome things, I bet. And also this one over here. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Oh, a glove, a mitten. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. Glossary. Streets of Broken Lights, a Russian mystery TV series. Oh, we love the mystery genre, don't we? A series telling the story of the daily life of Russian police officers. It's the longest running series in the history of Russian TV at the moment. Oh, really? I would have expected it would be like a soap opera or so. I feel that's like the most common thing that's like holding like a running record. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Vova. I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Imagination. This is at least true. Oh, that sounded ghastly. As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova resounded closer to me, didn't I? Vova, very ghostly, very spectral. Didn't we hear something like this in the night? Someone was standing there, behind the trees, hiding. I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still. Oh, Vova was the name of the boy, wasn't it? Me and names. I need to see the names 3 or 4 times to remember. Not just the name, but where it's from. Okay, something was unsettling about that figure that's standing somewhere there. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally towards the ground. Oh, okay, it's one of those animalistic entities, possibly. Imaginative entities. Its blackness like last night. There's no one there. Just branches and roots. Okay, we're back to reality. Maybe. It's all just my imagination. Okay. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh God. With little booming. Oh yeah, there was something there. A shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I heard them stepping away. Or we're just back in imagination then again. Slips very quickly into imagination. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. There's lots of shapes here. Lots of shapes. This looks like eyes in a way. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. You're tensing quite up, my boy. Take some deep breaths. close your eyes and open them again. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I would sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. That's what, like, I'm digressing here, but that's sort of like what separates certain good horror games from certain bad horror games. You don't always need a jump scare. You need to ride on that tension. Nothing really happened. You were terrified, but nothing happened. And since you never got that jump scare, you're still on your toes for quite a while. And you think back, even after you are no longer scared, you think back, wondering, was there actually something there? And that feeling can be so very haunting. At least for me. Everyone's different. Run away or take. Run away or take. You know, this is part of reality. This is part of reality. If you run away now, I mean, it also seemed like something was here. It seemed like something was here. And I'm not quite convinced that's my imagination. But I feel that the only right thing at the moment will be to, at the very least, inspect this. So we're going to take this. We take the mitten. And it sounds like our imagination is extremely much blooming up from that action alone. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Oh, jeez. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. I stepped toward the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. Even after seeing that, we're having an episode right here. It did not budge. I pulled harder, the branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy. Wet. I suppose its warm properties has melted whatever snow landed inside it. I squeezed it without... Okay, that's probably not how it works. Maybe it's recent. Maybe it was warm when it still got stuck there. Maybe it's our sisters. I squeezed it without thinking, and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny string between the mitten and the snow. You know, I have a very strong suspicion that this might be a trap. For whatever reason. Steam arose from the snow pile. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Who's there? I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever, like that boy. But there was one more voice. Probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. That's your mind trying to calm you a bit. You can do it, don't stop. Well, not calm. Calm is probably the wrong word, but making you not panic, making you focus. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud, my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts, rather than a single one. Like the collective group we saw in the night. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. 2 giant wings flapped above my head. Yep, it does actually seem like that group because I remember seeing winged creatures as well. The silhouettes, anyway. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. That would be quicksand for you. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this was not snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boots slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. Or hard-ish considering all the snow. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Wow, we walked far, didn't we?